Now let's take a trip to Edo State, where education shapes the future of any society, and when schools fail to offer a conducive learning environment, the consequences extend beyond the classroom. Appalled by the conditions of the schools in Edo State, the governor Monday Okpebholo declared a state of emergency on public schools, citing their poor conditions as unfit for learning. During a visit to public schools in Ikpoba-Okha and Egor local government areas of the state, Governor Okpebholo condemned the lack of basic infrastructure and ordered immediate rehabilitation of the schools, emphasizing that students deserve a safe and conducive space to learn. All right, Mikael, looking at the situation in Edo State, declaring a state of emergency in public schools. In fact, this is a bold move, isn't it?
Yes, when you declare a state of emergency, that means you are prepared to take extraordinary steps. Extraordinary steps to address a problem. In that state, from what we see, schools that have dilapidated infrastructure are not even limited to the hinterland, even the urban centers. Because Ikpoba-Okha is in the heart of Benin City. Ikpoba-Okha is in the heart of Benin City. So it's not like, oh, you have to go outside the state capital to see those schools without roofs. The governor said when the children are writing, and they look up, they see the sky.
They see the sky, which is totally
It's a terrible thing. You know, so the governor has said, okay, we are going to set aside money, carry out comprehensive, what's it called, examination of those schools and determine the schools that have the most pressing infrastructure renewal needs.
Okay.
So those ones will be the first set of schools that they will address.
Okay.
So from there they will move to others. It will cost a lot of money because in a lot of those schools, furniture damaged, students, pupils sit on the floor. In a lot of those schools, classes are matched, so you have crowded classrooms. You have to address that. In a lot of those schools, no roof. And when it's raining, there was a teacher that spoke. These are some of the pictures you are seeing are the new result, the renovation that has happened within 100 days of the governor. But you will see some of what we saw during his last visit to some of those schools. In fact, I was really shocked. And one of the teachers, I think the vice principal, came out to say, look, we appeal to the, look, how can the school be like this? This is a wake-up. How can the school be like this? And that the vice minister said that they appealed to the former governor, but the governor didn't do anything.
Now, BK, talking about the former governor, the administration of former Governor Obaseki, you know, boasted that it transformed the education in Edo State with Edo Best. But how come the public schools? Is nothing to write home about.
If the public schools are in that state, then it calls to question the claims made by the government.
Exactly.
The journalists should have exposed this before now.
Okay.
To let us know what is going on in those states. But see, the culture of investigative journalism, we must try our best to make sure that it doesn't die.
Okay.
Where journalists make up their minds to expose what was hidden so that people can learn and draw the attention of government to take action. When the Bademossi did that documentary at Police College, everybody was worried. It triggered the need to do something. When the same Deji Bademossi did a documentary about the Third Mainland Bridge, it won the African Journalist of the Year prize. I was in attendance. And as a Nigerian, I was proud. Because that day, if not for Deji, we would have come back to Lagos without a single award. The defunct multi-choice CNN multi-choice journalist of the year. Deji came away with the award for the story. He went under the Third Mainland Bridge and showed infrastructure that was at the verge of giving way, which is a big danger to everyone. So this is journalists. This is what we want. This is what we want. This is what we tell them to do. If you say you are a journalist, people must be able to point at one journalistic breakthrough that you've made, one story that you made that everyone keeps talking about.
Absolutely.
How many people have that? It's not by shouting on TV. Nobody by shouting on TV. You must prove your mettle. When they fire a gun at you or your direction during while covering an election. When you come back to the office to tell me, I will not even show pity to you. Those who work with me know that because it's not, for me, it's not a new thing. In the course of our work, you must go through some difficult spells and all that. Azuko was covering an election in a state. When boys came to grab, they came to grab ballot. No, they came to grab ballot box.
Oh, okay.
See shooting. Everywhere scatter. So we've seen that. That is what we want to see. Yeah, let everyone contribute, even if it's a line.
Sure.
Your own investigative work, one line. Let us even see it. That is what we want. If people had been investigating this, I appreciate budget for some of what they are doing. Okay. Because you have to follow the money. If money gets released to people to do some work, if they don't do the work, they need to be exposed.
Exactly.
You know? But in our country, money gets appropriated, nothing happens, and we keep quiet. Nobody tries to do a story to say, okay, this is what is on ground. These things are not there. So the government comes up with a policy, oh, we are going to do this, we are going to let women deliver their babies for free. If they are not doing it, people should do stories to show that, oh, this is a case of promise unfulfilled.
I think it's a charge to all journalists.
That will help us. Because they have done that, what this governor is just discovering now, we will have known that, look, there's no new thing. What's the big deal here? But look at the state of those schools.
It is, in fact. What are your thoughts here?
You know, I think, just like BKO said, investigative journalism is not easy because most journalists will always tell you their lives are under threat and all that, you know. But other people can take up that job. I didn't really know that things were this bad. I
didn't.
Until
I
we
was thinking, with the Edo best, I was thinking,
exactly, that everything was okay, you know. Because the way they were boasting back then, the previous governor was boasting. It was as if you can even take your child away from Lagos and go to Edo and, you know, understand, for education. But with what you are seeing, you know, pictures and videos don't lie. You can see they're telling us all the stories. And that is why we keep saying that if you are doing a story, as a journalist, let us see the videos, let's see the pictures.
Pictures don't tell lies.
They don't tell lies. So I'm very sure even the governor, by the time he will get home after seeing all this dilapidated structure, he would even shed tears. He will shed tears because it's like he's starting all over to do something that, in fact, it's even before the campaigns.
Imagine.
You know, look at, you know, you go to school, some children are sitting on the floor, some no roof, you know, no blackboard, no material for you to even train a child. At the end of the day, how do you want that child to come up? Because at the end of the day, the child comes out and then the only thing he does is just, he didn't learn anything, but he knows that he has one uniform, he has gone to school.
When it is raining, where do they take
shelter?
Where do they take shelter?
I remember in Lagos, there was a story that Sharon did one time in Lagos here. You know, the children were actually somewhere, I think they were learning somewhere in Ekpe. Immediately, it was Governor Ambode, immediately he saw that story. He took action immediately.
Yes.
Immediately, because he said he didn't know that something like that was happening.
Imagine Lagos.
In Lagos here.
Center of excellence.
Now, one would now be forced to ask that why is the governor focusing so much attention to the renovation of public schools in the state?
If he doesn't do it, those children, are you seeing those children? If he doesn't do it, who is going to do it? He's the one that can do it. And I feel that he knows that, oh, I have children too. And these children, if, for instance, you don't take care of these children now, and they start growing, and they are even going to schools that are like this, how do you feel that those children, when they grow up, they will become? You have to start thinking about the future.
You can't even excel in such
You can't. So tomorrow, when they say, Edo, for instance, they are not doing well in WAEC, where does it come from?
There's a reason.
There's no encouragement.
Exactly.
You know, people, you see some private schools, they paint them in fine colors because children like colors and all that. The school must be attractive to the child.
Exactly.
Sure.
You know, once the school is attractive to the child, on his own, he will go and carry his bag every morning. He wants to go to school. There are tools for them to play with, all these slides. And
exactly.
You know, so those, you must make the environment conducive and appealing, because at that level, you must get them to like schoolwork.
Exactly.
You must get them to want to be educated. So all of the encouragement, you can do it by giving them solid infrastructure, you know, and then tie that to quality of instruction, qualitative level of instruction. That is how you get the best out of them.
And plus quality teachers as well.
Yes, all teachers have to be trained.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we need to have quality.
You can't even have quality level of instruction without quality teachers.
Exactly.
So what the governor needs to do, and I understand that's his plan, is to have a holistic reform that will not just target run-down infrastructure, but quality of instruction must improve. Teachers must be properly trained. The curriculum must change, you know, and must be in tune with global best practices. So that way, in no time, you will see that people will start moving their children from private schools to public schools. Once they can see that those public schools have the right infrastructure, conducive environment. You need to see some of the schools in Borno State. Even the ambience, the playground. Any child that go to school on the first day and sees how beautiful the playground is, honestly, the next day, if you don't take him there,
there will be problem in that house.
Cry his heart out.
So, but just like Oliver Twist, should the people of Edo State be expecting more from the governor?
No, given what the governor has done, he has already, his job is cut out already. He has set a target for himself. All of those, everywhere there are bad schools now, bad infrastructure, they are going to notify the governor, and they have to go there.
Imagine a state of emergency for the renovation of schools. It is, in fact, a very, very big.
There's also a maintenance plan.
You
know, when once anything gets wrong, they have to maintain it. They shouldn't just leave
Otherwise, they will go back to.
So that means the people of the state should own it.
Of course, every community that these schools are must own it.
They should own it, exactly.
And they have said that they are going to fence. All of those
for
things.
security
purposes. Yes, burglars go steal the stuff.
Exactly.